Hello students, I am Dr. Amol Rahane welcomes you to the course Physics Principles and Applications for FYBSc Semester 1 Physics Paper 2. So we are studying 4th chapter Sources of Electromagnetic Radiation. So in this lecture we will study electromagnetic spectrum and types of electromagnetic waves. So in this lecture we will study the electromagnetic spectrum and types of electromagnetic waves. So let us study what are electromagnetic waves. So electromagnetic waves or EM waves are waves that are created as a result of vibrations between an electric field and a magnetic field. In other words, electromagnetic waves are composed of oscillating magnetic and electric fields. So let us study the electromagnetic spectrum. So we know the various types of electromagnetic waves. They differ from each other in their wavelengths and frequencies. The frequency of an electromagnetic wave also determines its characteristics and uses. Higher frequency electromagnetic waves with more electromagnetic vibrations per second have more energy. Low frequency electromagnetic waves with longer wavelengths have less energy. The types of electromagnetic radiations are broadly classified into several classes. So this is the electromagnetic spectrum. So in this spectrum the various electromagnetic waves are given, right? So in this spectrum, so if we consider from gamma rays, right? So if we consider the wavelength in terms of wavelength, so gamma rays having very small wavelengths, right? So these are the rays having very small wavelengths, and therefore these radiations, their frequency is very high, and hence they are very high energy radiations. That means they have more penetrating power than all the other radiations. Then comes the X-rays. X-rays having wavelengths of the order of 10 raised to minus 10 meter, right? So of the order of few angstroms, right? And then comes the ultraviolet radiations, which are slightly higher wavelengths or longer wavelengths than the X-rays, right? In between the UV and IR there is a small band of wavelengths, and that small band we call it visible spectrum, because this spectrum is visible to our eyes, right? So this spectrum is visible to our eyes, and therefore we call it visible spectrum or visible light, right? See, above the visible light there comes the infrared radiation, right? And above the infrared radiation there comes the microwaves, and then radio waves, and then comes the long radio waves, right? That means the radio waves, they are having very smaller frequency, whereas the frequency of gamma rays is very high, and because of that the gamma rays are having very high energy, whereas the radio waves having low energy, right? So let us study the different types of electromagnetic waves. So we know the gamma radiation, then we know the X-ray radiation, then comes the ultraviolet radiation, then visible radiation, infrared radiation, microwave radiation, and radio waves. So all these radiations are arranged in the form of increasing frequency or energy from bottom to top, right? So radio waves having very small frequency, hence small energy, right? Whereas gamma rays having very high frequency, and hence they are very high energy, right? The wavelength on the other hand, is increasing in going from gamma radiation to radio waves. That means gamma radiation is having smallest wavelengths, whereas radio waves are having very longer wavelengths, right? So we can see the ranges of wavelengths and frequencies in the electromagnetic spectrum in this table. As already discussed, the radio waves, they are having larger wavelengths, and these wavelengths are greater than 1 meter, and their frequency comes in the range of 3 kilohertz to 300 megahertz, right? Then microwaves are smaller wavelengths than that of the radio waves, and their wavelengths fall in the range of 1 millimeter to 1 meter, and their frequency is of the order of 300 megahertz to 300 gigahertz. Then comes the infrared radiation, which is having wavelengths of the order of 750 nanometer to 1 millimeter, right? And frequency of the order of 300 gigahertz to 400 terahertz. So visible radiation that we know is of the order of wavelengths 390 nanometer to 790 nanometer, and ultraviolet radiation that are having wavelengths of 10 nanometer to 400 nanometer, and X-rays having wavelengths of the order of 0.01 nanometer to 10 nanometers, and the gamma rays having wavelengths smaller than 0.1 nanometers, right? So let us now study the radio frequency radiation. So radio waves are lowest frequency portion of the electromagnetic spectrum, and they are designated as radio waves, right? So wavelengths within 1 meter to 100 kilometers, or frequencies within 300 megahertz to 3 kilohertz, right? And they are having subcategories AM and FM radio. So AM means amplitude modulation, and FM, that means frequency modulation. That these are the techniques used in the radio communication or radio broadcasting. So radio waves can be generated by natural sources such as lightning or astronomical phenomena, or by artificial sources such as broadcast radio towers, cell phones, satellites and radars. So the Earth's atmosphere is mainly transparent to radio waves, except for layers of charged particles in the ionosphere, which can reflect certain frequencies, right? So we know that different regions in our atmosphere, the ionosphere is the region where charged particles and their ions are there, and the radio waves, they will be reflected back from the ionosphere, and because of that we can use these radio waves for long distance communication, right? Because they will be reflected back from the ionosphere, and we can communicate for longer distances using this phenomenon. Radio waves are extremely widely used to transmit information across distances in radio communication systems such as radio broadcasting, television, two-way radios, mobile phones, communication satellites and wireless networking. In a radio communication system, a radio frequency current is modulated with an information bearing signal in a transmitter by varying the amplitude or frequency or phase and applied to an antenna. The radio waves carry the information across space to a receiver, where they are received by an antenna and the information extracted by the demodulation in the receiver. Radio waves are also used for navigation in systems like GPS, that means Global Positioning System, and navigational beacons and locating distant objects in radio location and radar. They are also used for remote control and for industrial heating. The use of the radio spectrum is strictly regulated by the governments, coordinated by a body called as the International Telecommunications Union (ITU), which allocates frequencies to different users for different uses. Stars, planets, and other cosmic bodies, they emit radio waves. That means the stars, planets, and cosmic bodies are the sources of radio waves. Radio waves are emitted and received by antennas, which consist of conductors such as metal rods, resonators, right? In artificial generation of radio waves, an electronic device called as a transmitter generates an AC electric current which is applied to an antenna. The oscillating electrons in the antenna generate oscillating electric and magnetic fields that radiated away from the antenna as radio waves. In reception of radio waves, the oscillating electric and magnetic fields of a radio wave couple to the electrons in an antenna, pushing them back and forth, creating oscillating currents which are applied to a radio receiver. Let us study the next type of electromagnetic waves, that means microwaves. So microwaves, they fall in the range of wavelengths from 1 meter to 1 millimeter. Their frequencies is of the order of 300 megahertz to 300 gigahertz. The microwave region of the electromagnetic spectrum is generally considered to overlap with the highest frequency or the shortest wavelength radio waves. The prefix micro in microwave is meant to indicate the smaller wavelengths as compared to the waves used in typical radio broadcasting, and it doesn't mean that it is the shortest, right? So micro means not it is short, it is not shortest, but it is smaller than that of the radio waves, and therefore they are called as microwaves, right? Their wavelength ranging from 1 millimeter to 1 meter. They are also absorbed by polar molecules coupling to vibrational and rotational modes, resulting in bulk heating, and because of this technique we use microwaves in microwave oven for cooking food, because the water molecules present in our food, they will be vibrated, and due to the vibrations of the water molecules, the heat will be produced, and this will result in the cooking of the food, right? Microwaves can penetrate into materials and deposit their energy below the surface. This effect is used to heat food in microwave ovens and for industrial heating. Microwaves are the main wavelengths used in radar and are used for satellite communications and wireless networking technologies such as Wi-Fi, although this is at intensity levels unable to cause thermal heating. The copper cables, transmission lines which are used to carry lower frequency radio waves to antennas have excessive power losses at microwave frequencies, and metal pipes called waveguides are used to carry them. Although at the low end of the band the atmosphere is mainly transparent, at the upper end of the band absorption of microwaves by atmospheric gases limits practical propagation distances to a few kilometers. So there is subdivision in the microwaves, right? So there are different regions of the microwaves. So first one is the ultra high frequency or UHF, then the super high frequency or SHF, and extremely high frequency that is EHF, all these subdivisions, they are having different properties and different applications. So ultra high frequency radiation that fall in the frequency range of 300 megahertz to 3 gigahertz, they are also known as decimeter band because the wavelengths range from 1 to 10 decimeters or 10 centimeters to 1 meter, right? They are used for television broadcasting, cordless phones, walkie-talkies, satellite communication and numerous other applications. Then comes the super high frequency radiation with frequencies range of the order of 3 gigahertz to 30 gigahertz. This band of frequencies is known also as the centimeter band because the wavelengths range from 10 to 1 centimeters. This frequency range is used for most radar transmitters, microwave ovens, wireless LANs, cell phones, satellite communication, microwave radio, relay links and numerous short-range terrestrial data links. Then comes the extremely high frequency radiation or EHF is the highest microwave frequency band with the frequency range of the order of 30 to 300 gigahertz. This frequency range corresponds to a wavelength range of 10 to 1 millimeter, so it is sometimes called as millimeter band. This band is commonly used in radio astronomy and remote sensing. Let us study the various sources of microwaves. So microwaves can be produced by currents in microscopic circuits and devices containing capacitors and inductors. Microwaves are produced by special vacuum tubes such as klystrons, magnetrons and gun diodes. For transmitting and receiving microwaves, the size of the antenna must be below 1 meter, that means of the size of the wavelengths of the microwaves, right? Microwaves can also be produced by atoms and molecules. For example, they are a component of electromagnetic radiation generated by thermal agitation. The thermal motion of atoms and molecules in any object at a temperature above absolute zero causes them to emit and absorb radiation. The sun also emits microwave radiation, although most of it is blocked by Earth's atmosphere. The cosmic microwave background radiation (CMBR) is microwave radiation that permeates all of space, and its discovery supports the Big Bang theory of the origin of the universe. So in the today's lecture, we have studied the electromagnetic spectrum in detail. We have studied different types of electromagnetic waves. We have also studied the radio waves and their various sources. We have also studied the microwaves and their sources. In the next lecture, we will study the next radiations, that means infrared radiation, visible radiation and ultraviolet radiations and their sources. Thank you.